everyone! Oh my gosh, it has been forever since I've done anything face-to-face, right? I think the last thing was probably my Ipsy bag, and that was probably, what, 3 weeks ago maybe? I don't know, but it's been a long time. I miss y'all. But anyway, so I'm here today to talk about the Mystery Experiences Company's box for June, and it was The Lost City. And let me go ahead and give a short little review of what I thought about it, and then I'll go into more detail because when I go into more detail, I give away hints and I give away solutions sometimes. And if you're just here to get the review on it, I don't want to mess that up for you. I don't want to not disappoint. What word am I looking for? What word am I looking for? I don't want to ruin it for you, right? If you're doing the puzzle. As always, I love it. I got it actually earlier this month. Usually I get it like after the, like the very beginning of the month. But this month I got it well before the end of the month. But I was working on my keepsake boxes for my cousin and her album. And then I was working on the mini wallet for my friend. So I just did not have time to get into it until this past weekend. And I actually worked on it on Monday. For those that are wondering, it usually takes me about 2.5, 3 hours to do the boxes. It just depends on how much is in there. I feel like this box didn't have as many puzzles as previous boxes did. So I don't think it took me quite as long as other boxes have. But it was a good box nevertheless. Let's see, what else can I say about it? I mean, I really do enjoy these mysteries. If you're not into having to go sleuthing, then I don't recommend these boxes to you. If you want everything in this box and you want all the clues to be in this box, and if you don't want to use any deductive reasoning, these boxes are not for you. You need to just like find the clue on the computer and play that, I guess. I don't know. Because, I mean, you have to call phone numbers. You have to look in newspapers. You have to go online. You have to do all these, other things, which that's what I love about this box, is that you're so interactive with it. I really do feel like I'm a detective when I'm on it. That said, the only thing that I will say about this box, again, is that I don't feel like we had a lot of puzzles. We only had, but when I go into the box, you'll understand what I'm talking about. The premise for the mystery itself was very interesting, actually. I kind of dug it. So, as always, the writing is superb. You not only get a mystery, but you get a story too to go along with it. So I always feel like it's a little bit of a mystery story that I'm helping to solve. It's kind of like Agatha Christie. And that's another thing I see, because I'm on their group on Facebook. And, a lot of people complain about that, oh, well, that wasn't in the box, or that wasn't this, or that wasn't that. And it's like, dudes, this is a mystery. It's kind of like Agatha Christie. Have you never read Agatha Christie? You sit there and you read that whole book and you think, yeah, I know who did it. And then you get to the solution. You're like, huh? What? Wait, when did she say that? And that was never in any part of the book, right? And so you're like, but that's the author's choice, right? That you kind of, there's a little hidden gem in there that only they know. And, you give. The example that I can think of with these boxes is with the, what was the box? It was with the girl when the exorcist box, when she was possessed, right? There was the part where she had killed the girl in the insane asylum with her, and everybody was like, what? When was that in there? That never was said. It was, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, well, true. I thought that too when I read it. I'm like, but wait, they never did really say. And then I was like, oh, but this is like an Agatha Christie novel, right? This is the author, the reporter is telling her this is what she found out, even though that's not spelt out. So you got to kind of, think that way and not get so wrapped up into it. But if you get the solutions right, Because everything is in here to get the solutions right to what the answer is. So that's never, you know, hokey pokey. It's just the embellishment parts of it kind of sometimes are, and that's okay for me. Because like I said, it's like a mystery novel, a little mystery novel that you are actually part of, which I love. I love that. Okay, so let's go into the box. So again, it's called The Lost City, and it's about a Mayan city, right? That's lost. So the main guy, Benedict Dolls, he has like found, after reading this book, he was like, okay, yeah, I know where this place is. Let's go. So he gets a bunch of people together, and they go, and a guy, one of the captains, okay, they were hushed. He ends up getting shot, and they're like, what? Why? So that's what our mystery is. We have to figure out who killed him, okay? So when you get the box, as always, you get, and I will show you what you get. You're going to end up getting a journal from him, and it explains, you know, what he's thinking, what's happened on their journey, and all that. So this is very, very helpful. You get a letter to Mary, which is, I believe that's Benedict's sister from her boyfriend, John. And then you get investigative notes. You get 2 of those. You get 2 investigative notes to help you decide who the killer is. And then you get this puzzle. It's like a maze puzzle. And then you also, so you get 3, sorry, I didn't see this one. You get 3 investigative notes. So you need to make sure you read those very well. Because in this box, you have to use deductive reasoning. You have to believe what is written on the paper, and the notes, and, you know, deduce who could not have done it. I will say it got a little confusing for me when you do a clue or a puzzle, and he's, you know, I don't trust them was the final sentence. And so I kind of was like, okay, well, so should I not take what they said to John as true evidence? So that kind of was like, But then if I would have done that, then I would have had like 3 suspects still with no alibi, right? So I'm like, no, I guess we have to trust what they say. Even though the victim did not trust them, you have to take their word for it. So that kind of was a little blurry for me. It was kind of like, So, and then you get another puzzle. So we have 2 so far. So we have this one, and then you have this one. Okay, so that's 3 puzzles or 3 clues that you have to do, and then you, I left it on my computer, but you get another one, and as you see, I made a photocopy of it because I needed to write on it, and it's easier to write on this because what comes is kind of glossy, and plus I didn't want to ruin it because I was thinking 2 things, but I'll get into that. So maybe because these puzzles weren't as difficult as the past puzzles, I felt like there wasn't enough puzzles because there's 4 there, and we usually get that many. So maybe that was what the thing was. Or is there 5? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 puzzles, 4 clues that you have to figure out. So maybe that's why. Maybe I was just like, oh, these are so easy. And that's why I felt like there weren't enough. So, and then of course you get a newspaper, but this newspaper is from the 1872. So it's not a current newspaper, but you got a newspaper that you would read, right? You get a little bag with a little jade arrowhead in it, and that goes along with the story. Again, these little things right here, sometimes they're clues, but most of the time like this is just something for you to have. And there's also a necklace that you get. I haven't even opened it. There's a little necklace that you get. And again, this is not a clue. It just goes along with the story. Kind of make you feel like you're part of the story. This is what I love about this box, y'all. I'm telling you, this is what I love. Okay, so you get, it's not on the thing, but you get a little pendant. Isn't that cute? Little Mayan thing. That's cute. And then you get a map, which is helpful. This is helpful for you. And then you get, oh, this was cute. I love this little thing. It's called a little worry dog. Traditional worry doll. Oh my gosh, I don't know if y'all are going to be able to see it. It's so tiny. But isn't that cute? And it goes along with the story. It's not a clue. But I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so cute. So in the story, the natives, they make these, right? And it's this big, supposed to be this big. And they just carry it with them. And if they're worried about something, they move it on their finger and think about what they're worried about. And then they put it under their pillow at night, or their head or whatever, to have one of their gods come and take the worry away. Isn't that sweet? I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so sweet. So that's cool. And then you have a picture. And then you have, this is for the hints and solutions where you need to go in case. And then here's a picture too. Mary and Lucia. I don't even know who they were, really, to be honest. I don't know. And then here's some more like little pictures of where they went, right? And then you have a telegram, right? So that's kind of cool. And then the very first thing is you have the letter telling you what you're to do in the box, what you're supposed to do. So we're supposed to catch this killer, the guy that shot him. So now that you have all this information, the first thing that I did is I read everything, right? I read the whole journal. I read all the investigative notes. I read the newspaper. I made sure I read everything, the telegram, the picture, all that kind of stuff. I read everything that could have been read, right? And then I went to the puzzles. So let's go with this puzzle first. I mean, it doesn't matter which order you do the puzzles in. So I did this one, and it's a maze, right? And I'm like, okay, well, I see letters, I see dots, and I'm like, I bet you we're going to have to go on the internet. So I kind of was like, well, but where do I start? I don't know. I don't know where I start. And then I happen to see the little dot, and then I see like www, and I'm like, ah, there it is. So then all you do is it's a maze. So you just follow it and write down what it says, right? And then it is a website that you go to. And a hint, which he does put in his letter, is all lowercase when you put in stuff for the website, and then you can get to it. And then when you get there, you get another clue, okay? Because your whole thing is you're trying to deduce who has alibis, right? And so I made a list of everybody that was there, which is in the newspaper. Let's see, where did the newspaper go? So the newspaper tells you who is all in the expedition, right? So what I did is I just wrote, they're over here. So I just wrote everybody down, right? So that I would know who was there. And anytime that they had an alibi, of course, I'd just cross them off to know who did it. And then, of course, whoever's not crossed off at the end is the killer. Okay, so, but this gives you another clue. All right, this one, I will say, I had to go on to the Facebook group and get hints for these two. These two right here. Well, actually, for these three, really. For these three. Hold on just a second. Okay, I went and got the original. So this is what that one looks like. Okay, so he found a satchel, and then this is a note he found, and he knew it was cryptid. So I did have to go online for this one, and for these, But, well, for just this one, because it said to go to Christopher's Curiosity on Facebook. But actually, first what I did is I went to, because he has a website all together. So I went there and there was no clues on how to figure this out. I knew there had to be a place that had the key to these, right? I just knew it. I'm like, there's got to be somewhere. So I went to his original website and it wasn't there. And I was like, well, where is it? And I totally forgot he has a Facebook page. So you have to go to his Facebook page. And then when you do, he has the keys in the comments. So that's what I'm talking about. So you had to go to Facebook, to Christopher Curiosity's Facebook. And so he gives you this, right? And then I was like, okay, well, that's 26 symbols. So this is obviously the alphabet. So, you know, this is A, B, C, all the way down to Z. So I'm like, okay, well, that goes along with that. So, of course, you figure it out. And it's another website. So you put in that website and you go and it gives you another clue to take off somebody. This one was also on his Facebook page and I just looked at it there and it's a telephone number. So you call it and he tells you, oh, you know what? I feel so stupid right now. He tells you in this message to believe everything written in the notes, in Dawes' notes. So that does contradict what this says, because this is the one that at the very end says that he doesn't trust them. So that's another reason why I was like, well, he did say to trust the notes. So there you go. So, but this explains probably why he got caught, why he got shot, and all that kind of stuff. So and that was it. But on this one was a toughie, and I'm not going to tell you a lie. It was hard. I even went to the hints, and both hints didn't really help me. But I will say I'm not the greatest at searching on Google. I don't know why. I've never been successful at that kind of stuff. I had a friend who she could Google anything and find anything, and I'm like, how do you even do that? But I mean, I went with the book that was in here because it tells you what the book is, right? And I even Googled that and I couldn't find anything. So I went into the group comments and somebody had actually commented and asked about this because they couldn't get it either. And I'm like, whew, I'm glad I'm not the only one who cannot get this. So a lady was kind enough to put in the comments where she went, and true enough, it's a kind of code type thing, and there's, you know, you could put in the AB or whatever and it comes up with what it is. So that took a really long time to do because that is a lot. And this is what got me, I kind of got hypnotized by doing this because this is the very last thing that I did, and it was so methodical, you know, and so rhythmic like type thing that, I mean, I just was not with it. Like an hour after I got this done, because I was still like in a fog kind of, and it was just crazy. Barry and I went to the store. I was trying to get stuff for dinner and I couldn't think, and then he had to end up going back again after we even got home. It was a mess. It was a mess. That was a mess. But I ended up being right on who actually killed him. So that was fun. And then it kind of explained in his theory why the Mayans left. So that was kind of cool too. So yeah, so this box was pretty fun. I liked it. It wasn't as like my favorite, I think, and I don't know, maybe it's just because it was my very first one, was the Raven. I really liked that one. I also liked Sector 7. That one was very interactive, and I liked that one a lot. And I also like the Exorcist one. I forgot what the name of that one is. But like Dead End and this one have both been about who's the murderer and, you know, just deductive reasoning on that. And I mean, I like it. It's just not as challenging as the other ones, which is okay. Sometimes you don't want to be challenged, you know, all the time. So, but I still liked it. It's still, to me, worth the $35. It is. To me, I really enjoy it. It's something that, you know, I really like to do. I can just drink my coffee and read and, you know, get immersed in it. So I really like it, and I highly recommend it if you're into interactive mysteries, and if you like Agatha Christie novels and that type of thing where not everything is spelled out for you, and at the end something might not, you know, have been in there. I mean, it was like with the Exorcist thing, I keep thinking of that. It was in there. It was stated that she got murdered suspiciously, or she died suspiciously, and then it ended up being the girl that murdered her, which, you know, nobody put it 2 to 2 together, but it was still in there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that type of thing. So, but it's not enough to bother me, but I know it bothers some people. They're like, oh my gosh, it was never said. There was never any indication that she did it. Well, she was her roommate, and she was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, so what do you think? I mean, you know, come on. But anyway, so that's this box for this month. I really, really enjoyed it. So I highly recommend it if you like mysteries, interactive mysteries, and if you like Agatha Christie novels. So go ahead and get you a subscription. All right, y'all. Well, thanks so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, share it, and if you've not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. And if you have subscribed, hit the little bell, and you will be notified every time I do a video. All right, y'all. Y'all be good to one another, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.